Hi, everybody. It's Cathy Tuttle with Chair Yoga. And today, this practice is about how to recover a little bit when you've been traveling and not overdo things. And we're going to have a little segment inserted called Legs Up the Wall, which is awesome. And you'll learn more about that in a few minutes. So, this is the month of Libra, which is October, and that always focuses on the kidneys, and hydration is so important for that. So that's kind of our theme for this month. We want to make sure we protect our kidneys, we keep hydrated, and just move forward with overall health. Now, today I am recording on a new computer for me. Never having done QuickTime, this is exciting. And I think I resolved some of the issues that I was struggling with to understand new systems, because I was back in old systems like 8-10 years ago. So that's fine. I'm figuring it out too. But one of the things that I was thinking about was how sometimes when we get new things going on, or we start a new exercise plan, or just anything, it can be really overwhelming. We'll think about how much weight we want to lose, or we'll think about the fact that we've got health issues that we need to address, and it can feel like a lot, and it can make us feel like, oh, I don't even know if I want to attempt this. But one of the things that I've found, two things. One thing is a little saying that sometimes we say in my household when there's something a little big going on, like moving cross country, and that is, one by one we get it done. I like that, because those one by ones start adding up. And I kind of get a little bit of tunnel vision, and I don't look too far ahead. I say, all right, what do I have to do today? And what do I have to do right now? And I just don't think about the big goal. I think about that one task and just focus on it. That really helps. So basically underlying that idea is, if you have a goal, think about breaking it into individual tasks. And I don't think too far outside the box when I do that. I just stay with my task. And then I look back and I say, oh, wow, look what's happened. So one of the things that we did early in September was we talked a lot about breath, and we worked on really understanding belly breath and adding in some other breaths around 4 count on the inhale, 7 count on the exhale to help bring the nervous system down. And we also talked about Bastrika breath to increase our energy. Something has been occurring where I am finding that the muscles in my abdomen are being more developed and stronger muscle-wise, because I've been doing little bits of weight work. This ties in with the one by one we get it done, break your goals into tasks. I've been doing very lightweight work at a gym, and I don't see a whole lot of overall change, but I am noticing in my belly that the muscles are more toned. And I was thinking about how some of us tend to hold our breath in, and I'm finding that my muscles are naturally doing that, so I have to consciously push them out to bring in the belly breath, which is the main point of this talk. If you have a habit of holding your belly in, then it requires a conscious effort to push it out on the inhale. So we inhale, push the belly out, exhale, pull the belly in. Pumping the diaphragm right here. So let's get started. This is a primarily seated exercise pose today. All the exercises will be geared towards seated, but I will always prompt the standing. Okay, so first we come to chair mountain pose. And find your comfortable seated position with your sit bones strongly in the chair, your feet firm on the floor. If you want to, you can always add a block or a book if that helps you to really feel more comfortable. Sometimes the chair might be a little higher and it makes you feel like you're cutting into your legs. So there's ways to use props. Okay. And let's roll the shoulders, bring the shoulder blades down the chair. And you're leaning against the back and you're in chair mountain pose. Take a nice belly breath. Remember, we can control that it doesn't go too much into the chest, and we can focus on expanding our belly on the inhale and breathing in through the nose, and then exhale, bring the belly in, and you're breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale, exhale. Try and slow it down so that you have a nice easy inhale and an easy exhale. 2 more. Now I'm going to pretend that I just finished my trip and I've been on an airplane for 5 hours, in a shuttle for 2 hours, waiting in the airport for another 2 hours. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm a little tired. So we're going to take it easy. We've got our breath. We feel a little worn out. We're pretending here. We're visualizing that idea. So we're going to take it slow. Come forward, sit in the chair, elongate, inhale, exhale. And remember, you have to modify your arm movements if you have any issues with your arms or your shoulders. It's up to you. I'll count on you. Inhale, exhale. And you want to make sure you keep breathing. If you have any circulation problems, you never want to hold your breath. 1 more. Inhale. Elongate as long as you can. Exhale. We always elongate before we rotate. So this time we're only going to do this side. Inhale. Stay up there. Exhale. This time we're going to tip over. You might want to hold your chair a little. Inhale, open up that side. And if you want to, if you have osteoporosis, exhale. You can do it standing. 1 more. Inhale, see if you can open up a little more. Drop that shoulder that you're holding the chair with. Exhale. Now, I haven't quite gotten used to this new computer, so I'm not cueing right and left because I have to practice that a little better on this system. Let's grab the chair with this side. Bring it up. Inhale. Hinge with the elbow if you want. Exhale. Elongate. Inhale. Elongate that side that's reaching. Exhale. Now let's tip over. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there. 1 more. Inhale and drop the shoulder on the arm that's holding the chair. Exhale. Okay, so we've elongated. We've gone side to side. That's 2 ways the spine moves. Now, before we get ready to do the other 2 ways, we're going to do one of my favorites, which is turtle, and I'm going to turn sideways so you see it. Basically, you're bringing your face forward and back. Forward and back. Keep breathing. Forward. You don't have to do it in time with it. Do this 3 more times. And if something's stiff from traveling, you can modify it. Okay. Now we're going to do, and you can stay forward, we're going to do the mini back bend, and then we're going to shift to the flat back forward fold, But first, let's do the mini back bend and keep your chin in turtle position, nice and neutral. Let's not push ourselves to look up or down. Let's be very careful, like we really had a long trip and we're worn out. Here we go. All right, you're going to see a mini back bend almost non-existent when I inhale and roll my shoulders back and open the chest. That's a mini back bend. Exhale, bring the shoulders back to neutral. One more inhale, open up the chest, mini back bend there. Exhale, bring it back. It's just doing the tiniest little back bend here. Then we're going to do the flat back forward fold. You ready? Take an inhale, neutral, not mini back bend. Exhale. One more inhale, neutral. On the exhale, shift forward, hinging your hips. That's a flat back forward fold. Come on back up. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, mini flat back forward fold. Come on back to neutral. Okay, we practice that because especially if you've osteoporosis, you want to be careful and not go past the flat back forward fold, especially if you're worn out from travel. So we're going to do some cat-cows. Our feet are flat on the floor. Our sit bones are sturdy in the chair. We're going to get ready here. Elongate the spine a little bit to get set up. And then inhale, mini back bend. Exhale, roll the shoulders forward. Come to flat back forward fold. Inhale, mini back bend. Exhale, roll the shoulders forward to flat back forward fold. That's 2. We're going to do 3 more just like this. Inhale, mini back bend. Keep the turtle chin. Exhale, flat back forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, mini back bend. Exhale, flat back forward fold. Inhale, mini back bend. Exhale, flat back forward fold. Okay. Now I know that sometimes in our regular practice, I go to a full forward fold, but being as I've been traveling and I'm all worn out, I'm taking extra care not to, by mistake, overdo it and potentially ruin my trip. That's no fun. All right, so we've elongated, we've gone side to side, we've gone backward, forward, and forward. That is the way the spine moves. Spine moves 4 ways. Now we're going to start warming up with our head and neck first. And remember, you might not feel like you normally do, so you're going to take it easy. Here we go. Sitting nice and comfortable, middle of the chair, nice turtle chin, neutral face, neutral spine. Nice breath, inhale, exhale. Always keep breathing. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a very gentle tracing the collarbone. Drop the chin a tiny bit, whatever's comfortable. If you have a cervical spine issue, you want to be very careful. And we're going to smoothly move from one side to the other. Here we go. One side, neutral, other side, neutral. One side, other side. Keep swinging it gently. See how it feels. We have 2 more. I'm going in sets of 5. Okay. Come on back. Now we're going to look to one side, come to the middle, and then look to the other side. You want to try and notice your shoulders, keep them quiet, and you're not twisting it all here. Remember, we're being extra careful because we've been stuck in travel mode for a while. Here we go. Look to this side, come to the middle, look to the other side, and you're going to notice the sides of your neck as you do it. Keep going. This is number 2. Come on back to the middle, other side. Keep moving. 3 more. And notice if it eases up. Go slow so you can notice it. As my lovely mother-in-law said, go slow and you always go. I loved her. I think this is the last one. I lost count because I'm yapping away. Okay, we'll do one more for good measure. Now we want to gently pretend that we're taking our ears to either side of our shoulders. The trick is, though, not to let your body think it has to raise your shoulder up. So just soften the shoulders. If you want, you can cross your arms over a little bit just to remind yourself. Sometimes I'll put my fingertips on the shoulders or over here. But everyone can't do the same thing, which is absolutely fine. That would be boring if we all were the same. So let's rock the shoulders down and tip to one side. Notice how this feels. Come on back. Tip to the other side. You're not really touching the shoulders. You're just moving the head along nice and slowly, continuously. And it doesn't look like a whole lot, but you start feeling the muscles on the sides. One more after this. Okay. This is really doing a lot of basics to just warm things up after traveling. Now we're going to do the shoulders. And pick your spot here. Pick the shoulders you like. We're not going to be pounding away trying to build up energy and all today. We're pretending we just got off the plane and we're about done. So I'm going to roll my shoulders like this because I kind of like this. And if you have a shoulder issue and you need to modify it, that's perfect. Do it. You are the boss. And then go the other way. You get the idea. If it feels good, you can do a little more. If it feels bad, don't do a whole lot. You can visualize it. All right, so we've got the shoulders done. Let's not forget our wrists. And I'm going to turn sideways for this one as well in case, someone has just popped in new on our session. I like to tuck my elbows close to my waist for this, and I'll turn. You can stay straight. And everything except the lower arms stays pretty quiet. And I'm going to just roll my wrists. Doesn't matter which way you do it. They can go the same way. They can go to opposite directions. Doesn't matter. Just roll them a little and then go back. Okay. Now, since we're traveling, we're assuming we got to our destination and we don't have our props. So I'm not going to use props today. Sometimes I'll use tennis balls. I'm not going to do that today. We're going to grab our claw hands like rah. We're going to just roll those claw hands around the wrist, you see? Tensing them because I don't have my props with me. So you get a vacation from props. Shake it out. And if you wanted to, if your hands bother you, sometimes I have a joint or two that's a little wonky, you can massage it a little bit. Just that's a good spot to remember and take care of yourself before you go on your journeys and your adventures for your trip. It's good to just settle things down and be ready to move along. All right, so we've got this done. What are we going to do next? We've got the whole top part. I know. Let's do a mini twist. You ready? Now, remember, we just traveled, so we're not going to do a whole lot. Take your arm, cross it over, point at me, and then you're going to turn that away, but very slowly, and pay attention. Elongate your spine. Pay attention to your spine. Make sure you baby yourself. And we're going to, when we do this, on the inhale, we stay where we are, and then on the exhale, we're going to turn first at the waist, then at the shoulders, try and keep the shoulders openish, and then at the head. Stay there. Inhale. On the exhale, see if you can loosen it up a tiny little bit. Maybe the head will turn a little more. On the inhale, come on back. Head, shoulders, waist. The reason I like to start that way and start with the waist, shoulders, head, and then head, shoulders, waist is to protect the spine. We're elongating the spine. We're doing a mini twist. Now we're going to do the other side. Ready? Make sure you're nice and tall, strong in your chair. Point, take an inhale. On the exhale, we turn with the waist, then the shoulders, keeping them openish, and then the head. Stay there. Inhale. On the exhale, see if you can open and churn a tiny little bit, but don't push it. On the inhale, come on back, head, shoulders, waist. Now let me tell you, that looks really simple, but it took me a while to get that in my head, to start certain ways. And it comes with time, but it's important to protect our joints and our spine, especially when we've been putting it through travel. So let's see, now we've got the mini twist underway. Let's warm up the hips. And if you're standing, I'm going to cue you to this. You ready? Hold on, seated people. Remember that we are not going to swing it high, especially now that we're traveling. We want to pay attention to taking care of ourselves. When I'm turned sideways, you can see I'm just rocking it. But I'm going to show you this way because here I am with my hand on the prop and my other hand on my hips. I'm softening my knees, tiny, tiny bit. And I'm going to shift over to this side. And this is very disorienting for me because I'm used to doing it on the iPad, and this is the flip side. So let's go for it. I'm not calling out sides. We're going to pretend that this side is a tree trunk and this side is freeing up. So here we go. We're going to shift over and elongate on that side. And we've done a lot of practice there. And look what happened. This foot gets loose. So if you're standing, that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to tip the knee up and mini, mini circles each direction and then rock it in the socket. Rock the knee back and forth, not twisting the knee at all. All right, so seated people, here we are. And I'm in the middle of the chair, and I got my props here, and I got my chair here, and I'm holding on for dear life because seated is harder. So I'm going to scoot over and let this buttocks be about half off the chair, all right? So hold on to the chair, hold on to the table, whatever it takes. And you're moving, you're a little bit in the seat. So you lift the leg and then tip it back. I'm missing the chair leg, yay. Back, up, and back. This is harder than standing. You standing people, you can be rocking it in your hip socket. Okay. And I'm done with the chair one. I just did about 4 of them and I'm done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Here we go. We're going to do up, and I'm actually holding my leg a little bit, and we're going to do the rotation with mini, mini rotation with the knee and then back. We're moving the hip in the socket. Okay, now we're going to do the knee, just rocking it forward and back, and I can hold it if I want. The reason we're doing this is to build synovial fluid, warm up the joints. Okay, and standing, folks, do it a little more if you want. Now we're going to flip over to the other side. You ready? Boom. All right, here we go. Lift it up. Seated people, just run into my prop, rock it back. Good job. Don't worry about too much movement. You're trying to just get that synovial fluid warmed up and activated so it will build more. Then I put the foot on the floor because this is hard. I'm going to lift up the knee, go around the other direction. Just mini, mini, mini. I have done it bigger. I don't like it. Okay, take a break for a second, seated folks. Here we go. Rock it in the socket. Okay, so now we're warmed up there. Let's continue to do something with our feet. You ready? I'm in the middle of the chair, and if you're standing, you want to sit back down. and my knees are above my ankles. So I'm going to take my foot, lift it up, set down the heel about where the toes are on my opposite foot, and then lift up this foot and bring it to meet it. Okay? I'm kind of grabbing my chair here, or you could grab your props, whatever you got, and I'm going to point my toes and lift my heels. Push the heels to the floor and lift the toes. You see that? Let's do that. Push the toes, lift the heels. Push the heels to the floor and lift the toes. Do 3 more like that. You're activating the calves, which your body has been helping you so much, and now you're giving it a little bit of help to rejuvenate. Okay, now come on back, bring your foot back so that your knee is pretty much over your ankle. Now let's lift the foot. I'm still holding on to my chair, and just rotate that ankle and go the other direction. Come on back. Lift the other foot. Rotate. Rotate. Now I'm going to insert something with the feet in a few seconds, so you'll see it. When we travel, different things can start bothering us that aren't really what we bother with normally. And one of the things is our feet. So I want to show you something that can be helpful when your feet start bothering you. If you are not able to bring your leg up comfortably, then you can just do the point and touch that we did with before. But if you can bring your foot up comfortably, then there's something else that you can do around not just massaging the foot. You can massage the foot. That can be exactly what you do, and remember to be careful with the fascia tissue. But you can also do something that sounds kind of weird at first, but it is helpful, and that involves getting your fingers, starting with your index finger, and only go to the first joint if you've never done this, of your finger. Put your finger between your big toe and your second toe. Put your second finger, not the thumb, between the other toe coming up, and then the third one. And you see, it takes a little wiggling, but you can do it. Now, sometimes if you don't have anything like bunions or any issues, you can get all the way into the second joint. And I can do that, but I'm not going to do that today. This is toe and finger spreading with 101. So we've got our fingers in between our toes. You see that? I've got my fingers up to the first joint. Right away, that is going to help loosen up those toes. And then very gently, you don't want to go to the max. You can kind of curve your fingertips around, and you can see how I can move the toes back and forth. You can actually pull them back a little bit, which is also going to put your heel of your hand into, I'll show you, into the arch of the foot. You see that? So let's take a minute, see if you can do that. Then put the heel into the arch and gently pull it back, not hard at all. If it hurts, don't do it. But this is a way to start moving that around. Then go the other way and you push like this, see? You're pushing the toes that way. So let's do that again, pulling them, pushing them. All right, the last thing is spreading those fingers apart just a little bit, which spreads the toes. Then let them go back together, press them together, the fingers together, and then pull on them if you feel comfortable. This is a little bit advanced, so you might want to just play around with it a little bit. And then out. We're going to refresh that on the other side. So we're using the 4 fingers. If you can do this, that's good. If you can't, just stick with this and spread your toes as much as you can. But if you want to try this, index finger between the big toe and the second toe, second finger between the next set, third, and you may find one foot is easier than the other. All right, so I've got the first joint of each finger in there between the toes. And I'm not trying to get all the way down. I'm not pushing it or anything. Then remember, we're going to pull back on the toes and get that heel of the hand, see, heel of the hand, pulling them a little bit gently, and then push it forward. That's all it is. If you have ankle issues or foot issues, you want to take it easy on this, maybe not do it, but I thought it would be important for some people who might find themselves traveling. Then you can spread the fingers that are there between the toes a little bit, and then bring them back together, and then pull them out. And that is a small thing that you can do to help with the feet feeling better, and then always spreading the toes and wiggling them. All right, so that was interesting looking at the feet. You can do things to help your feet feel better. And at the end, I'm also going to show you another thing to do, but for now, we just did the feet. All right, so we've got that going on. What else we want to do after traveling? I know. I want to do one strengthening pose, but really take it easy, all right? If you're standing, we're going to do goddess pose. And as you know, I'll be back to seated in a second. As you know, you basically are standing nice and strong, elongate the spine, and then you go up and open up wide on the shoulders, down. That's the only strengthening pose I'm going to think about doing here, okay? Here we go. If you're seated, you can do it right like this, and you can just do that and press your feet down. You're in the middle of the chair, or you can put your legs wider. And here we go. And I'm bumping my prop. Sorry about that. Inhale up. Exhale down, open up the shoulders, press feet into the floor, elongate the spine. Inhale up, relax everything. Exhale down. One more, and then we're done. Inhale up. Exhale, open up. Goddess pose, cactus arms, press the feet. Remember, you can modify these arms. Keep breathing. Oh, exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. All right, so what have we done? We've warmed up the joints. We've moved a little bit. And now I'm going to show you the pièce de résistance. We're going to look at legs up the wall. So I'm pretty much just laying down in my bed with my legs elevated. And you can do the same thing on a couch and just put some pillows up there or a wedge pillow up. But you want to try and elevate this because the valves in the legs that pump the blood get a lot of exertion, and this is a great way to settle them back down and let them rest. So there's a lot of times you can do this. One would be when you are tired, like if you've had a long trip and you've been on your feet a long time, or it could be just when you are worn out with maybe not sleeping terribly well the night before and you find yourself feeling that heaviness. So it's kind of one of those things you can just pack away in your toolbox and pull it out when you need it. Um, After a long trip, I always do this because it keeps me from feeling worn out later on, and it helps later on to be able to take a good night's sleep. So sometimes you might want to do it before you go to bed. Anyway, this is Legs Up the Wall, and it's pretty simple. It's nice because, as we're going to see, it's easy to get out of bed. So basically, you just kind of bring your legs down, and you can kind of turn to the side. You got yourself propped up, and then you can just roll right up in the bed. And there you are. It's not difficult. You're not trying to get off the floor, and legs up the wall. So there you go. That is something that you can do either before the practice or after. I kind of feel like I might want to do it after at the very end, like I put it in here, because it can kind of help you to limber up before you start putting your legs up the wall. All right, so let's come on back to the chair. Sit back in chair mountain pose, feet comfortably on the floor. Scoot on back. That is our travel session on this fine day. And let's find our breath. Nice, easy inhale, exhale. See if you can bring in a belly breath. Do your best. Calm down the nervous system. And then, if you'd like to close your eyes for a moment or gaze at your knees, we're going to move into a short mini relaxation here. Notice the crown of your head, the space between your eyebrows, hollow of your throat, the right and left shoulder joints, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, tops and bottoms of your hands, wrists. Keep breathing. Lower arms, elbows. Let the chair support you. Upper arms, shoulders, hollow of the throat, heart center, navel center, sacrum, space between the hip joints. Move to the right and left hip joints, the right and left thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, tops and bottoms of the feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hip joints, sacrum, navel center, heart center, hollow of the throat, space between the eyebrows, crown of the head. Find your easy breath. And as you inhale, imagine you're bringing in nourishment and energy through the crown of your head. And you're sending it out to all the parts of the body that we've noted. Take an inhale. And exhale out the toxins and stress through your fingers and toes. One more like that. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale out toxins and stress. If you'd like, you may bring your hands to heart position and bow to seal your practice, making thanks for the time you've taken today to help yourself. Thank you so much for joining me for this special after travel session. And happy trails from Cathy Tuttle with Chair Yoga.